Hey. Thank you for jumping on this morning. Just checking my audio, making sure everything is good to go on this end. Hope everybody is doing well. As usual, hit that thumbs up, hit that share, tag somebody, do what you got to do to get this out in front of everybody that needs to hear, wants to hear, looking to hear something, a positive message. The system that I use, they updated their interface, so some of the stuff is moved around a little bit, so hopefully I can hit all the right buttons at the right time. Thank you for jumping on as usual. I appreciate you, Lions. Hope you are doing well and are ready for a fantastic day. Whether you're listening to this on your drive, doing some laundry, organizing things for the day, and I should have put this on silent mode. Let me make sure that's adjusted so I don't get calls coming in on that. Today we're going to be talking about daily improvement. So we're going to be getting that rocking and rolling for you. It's just something that has come up in one of the questions that I got, where someone was asking how is it that they can reach their destination when they feel that the end goal is so far away. So that makes things a little tough there, right? When you're looking too far ahead and you kind of get discouraged with where you're trying to get to and where you're trying to go. So if that's something that interests you, put it in the chat. Let's hear a yes. Let's see a yes. Share a story that you might have for yourself somewhere where you're searching for from some of that improvement for you and some of that in resulting work that you've been trying to strive for and figure out how to get to. So again, that goes back to the question. So the question was, or I should say, they were a little bit more discouraged with their statement as far as saying that they're trying to get somewhere and the end goal of where they're trying to get to, it just seems so far away that it paralyzes them when trying to get things going in order to reach that goal. So my response is this: we all need a goal, we all need a destination, and we should set the bar pretty high to where that end result is not super achievable within a day and an hour. Now, with that being said, in order to reach that point, we do need to have milestones in order to reach that point then, if that makes sense there, right? So we have our end goal and we want to get way over here, okay? But in order to reach this, we got to have those milestones, like that stepping ladder. We got to be able to step into that destination that we're going to into. And that gives us that constant improvement to then reach that final step of where we're trying to go. Be it losing 20 pounds or trying to be the CEO of the company or whatever it is. We're not going to go from where we are now and automatically shoot to that position there. That doesn't mean that that doesn't happen. I'm sure it has happened. Those are outliers. But however, in order for us to get there, there's got to be some stepping measures. I can use a weight set right here behind me. If we want to reach, where is it? If we want to reach this peak here, we're way down here, right? You got to have these steps in order to reach that destination. Now, what that looks like, I don't know exactly because I don't know where you're trying to get to. So if you can, throw some in the chat, let us know so the community can discuss it and we can all chat about it a little bit. But again, if we're trying to lose 20 pounds, we're not just going to show up to the gym and all of a sudden the 20 pounds is gone. No, we got to make some kind of changes that are going to be part of that stepping stone. Is it going to be simply just getting to the gym? We don't have anything else right now. Just show up at the gym because you haven't been getting there. Could it be walking around the block? Can you start there? Can you start with just getting up and walking around the block, walking around the neighborhood and spending 5-10 minutes walking? And then we slowly increase from there. And then we make it 15-20 minutes of walking. Now you're able to walk a half hour. You're walking at your lunch break at work. And then you're getting into the gym. Now you're into the gym. You're just showing up, and you're making sure that your trainer has some wonderful modifications for you, and you're able to start moving some weight around, picking up some dumbbells, picking up some kettlebells, using body weight exercises. Can you get there? And now you're saying, okay, I'm changing my eating habits. Now I'm not drinking as much Coke. You take the soda out of it, right? And you don't want to make a drastic change. You just take the soda out of it. And then from there, you decide to start eating a little bit better. You're monitoring what it is you're eating. You're journaling it. Journaling it alone allows you to make those changes. It's the same for work. Are you getting to work on time constantly? Can you get to work a little bit earlier? Are you organized when you're at work? Are you reading? Are you picking up on different areas where you can improve that maybe you weren't so focused on in the beginning, and maybe that is what you were able to do in order to reach that in process for you. So how does that look? What does that look like for you? And again, it's daily improvement. So we're not going to reach where we want to go straight away. We have to recognize that it's going to take us some time in order for us to reach those goals. I jotted down some notes, and habits don't restrict freedom, they create them. So when we're putting things together and we're starting to create those daily habits, sometimes we think, oh, I have to do this every single morning. So for me, every single morning, I make sure that I get up, I have a big glass of water. I go through my daily checklist on my mirror that I write on there, and I look at it. And it's that self-talk that we talked about last week. And I give myself some positive self-talk. It's going to be a great day today. Things are going to work out. I'm going to be able to reach my goals and destinations that I want to get to. I might hit a bump in the road, but that's okay. I'm going to deal with that bump in the road, and then I'm going to get right back to where I want it to be. Okay, so those are things that we try to make those adjustments. We have to change that our internal story. So we have to change what we're telling ourselves. So instead of telling ourselves that destination is too far away, we need to start saying, I see the destination. It's a bit of a distance. However, I'm going to hit these milestones. And every time I hit these milestones, I'm going to be that much closer to my destination. I'm going to be that much closer to reaching my goals. So what are those for you? So write it down in that journal, and we can write across the top what that big goal is and what those milestones are in order for us to reach it. So you can start down at the bottom, and you can make the simple notes there for that milestone, and then how far or how high can we get to strive to get to that destination there. So that's something that we need to do in order to get that rocking and rolling. So what are those for you? Can you jot those down, and can you make those notes there? Only by incremental progress each and every day, the end result compounds into becoming success. So again, goes back to what we talk about here on the podcast, is being better than yesterday. It doesn't have to be this big, huge, monumental movement. It's slow, daily, deliberate progress. And for me, it's the same thing, right? So I'm jumping on this podcast, very new, very fresh, as they call it, very green to all of this. And I have to constantly figure out how to stream the episodes, how things are going to work out, what I'm going to talk about. How can I deliver the message? Am I working on my cadence? Am I remembering to mention to everybody to like the live, share it with their friends, jump on later, leave a chat down in it? And how can I continue to increase the engagement inside of the podcast so that more people can jump on and that more people can be reached and that I can help people on a daily basis, right? So the end result is always just being able to help someone. In order to be able to help someone, I have to make sure that little things are in place in order for me to get there. So now we've been going on this. This is our week 2, and maybe the progress isn't significantly noticeable yet. Maybe today's podcast is very similar to day 1's podcast, and the way I'm speaking and delivering the message is exactly the same. However, there are small incremental benefits and improvements that have come along the way. And now if I continue to do this for, instead of 2 weeks, is 4 weeks, and then 4 weeks is 8 weeks, and then 16 weeks, 32 weeks, how is it at that point, and how far do we get? Now, where am I a year from now with doing this Monday through Friday? Am I improving? Am I getting better? And that's something that we have to be able to remember as we're going through different things. We have to become the architect of our habits rather than the victim of them. right? So as much as we're trying to develop the positive habits, the negative habits are still there, and the negative habits are significantly easier for us to constantly stick with, right? So again, if we're constantly worried about that big goal that's way over here, and we're choosing to uh, remain paralyzed and complacent with where we are, we're never going to reach this destination, right? We can constantly talk about it, we can constantly bring it up, but if we're not doing anything down here, there's no way for us to reach the goals that we're trying to get to, or the areas that we want to be able to be in. So we have to remember that positive self-talk, that constant personal reminder that we do, is going to allow us to be able to start making some movement, start making some headway, and allow us to not be stuck in a rut. All right. So if you agree, put it in the chat and let me know. Okay. Strive for progress, not perfection. Oftentimes we are looking for instant gratification. And I think that's the world that we just live in now, right? Instant gratification. So if you want to go to the movies, or I should say watch a movie, boom, instantly you can jump on Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO, Disney Plus, you name it, we have it. We have instant access to that. We don't have to do anything. It's just simple type and click, boom, and it's right there. If we want food, now you can order Uber Eats. You don't even have to leave your house. Uber Eats and Lyft and all of this jazz, you don't have to do anything anymore. Now it's just use your thumbs and get there, right? And it's delivered straight to your home. There's no true effort on your part besides picking up the phone, which is probably already in your hand as you're scrolling through social media anyway, right? So there's no effort there. There's no delaying there, and we're used to just getting what we want right then and there. But when it's true things in life that really are going to elevate us, that allow us to be a better person, be a better boss, be a better spouse, be a better whatever the case may be, it takes work. It takes time. You're not able to just order that. You don't just put that out there and type in better husband, and boom, all of a sudden a better version of yourself is there, and Lyle 2.0 is on the scene. No, you have to be able to work at it. You have to be able to learn. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. And again, it goes back to previous episodes. It goes out to stepping outside of your comfort zone and knowing and willing to develop yourself. What does that look like? Good morning, Ellie. I see you. So what does that look like for you, and how are you able to get there? Are you willing to get up every morning, and instead of spending the first 15-20 minutes on your social media platform, unless you're watching this, of course, can you get out a book and read something? Can you make sure that your clothes are out prior to getting everything else going that's chaotic in your home, so that you can get to work a little earlier and not getting to work a little bit later? Okay, so those are things that we have to do. So instead, we have to be focusing on the hard work and the persistence that will allow us to get to where we want to be over time. Oftentimes we get caught up and a little bit scared and not willing to do that hard work, because it is hard. It is tough. Nobody wants to sweat. Nobody wants to be tired. Nobody wants to do things that are difficult, right? I understand that. However, it's a mindset shift that we have to get into in order for us to get to that destination. So instead of saying it that way, how about we start saying, okay, I recognize that it's going to be difficult. I recognize that it's going to be tough. I recognize that it's not going to be something that I want to do every single day. But I know that by the time I finish this, by the time I complete it, by doing this daily, I'm going to be that much better, and I'm going to be that much closer. Yes, I know I'm saying this as something that is a simple task, and it is simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy to get up 10, 15 minutes earlier. It's not easy to crack open that book and sit down and read it versus scrolling through social media. It's not easy to go into the kitchen and make you a nice big bowl of salad instead of that big bowl of ice cream. Those things are not easy, but we are capable of doing such. It's something that we can do. We can get there, and we can take care of it. All right. I'm going to try to button this up because I hear the gardeners get here and I don't want it too loud in the background for you. We oftentimes think it is the results that need to change, when it is the process behind the results that need to change. So What I mean by that is oftentimes what we call is a moonshot. So that's your goal that you're trying to get to. That's way far away, right? And things are not working out. You're not reaching that destination. And oftentimes we think, okay, well, let's lower the bar down. Let's lower our expectations. Let's lower what we think that we can get to. When in actuality, it has to be changed. What are we doing to get there? What have we been doing? And is that something that needs to improve and something that needs to get better for us to reach there? So I'll give you an example here. I kept saying to myself, I want to be able to put the podcast out and get things going. Hopefully my mic is still there. Give me a thumbs up if it's still there. It said it disconnected. I wanted to get the podcast going and things were working out. But I wasn't doing all of the smaller things in order to get the podcast going. I wasn't jumping on social media, sending out tweets, posting in my stories saying, "Hey, I'm getting my podcast up and running. Here's the link. Here's how you're able to join in, and here's how you're able to get into the mix and join the community." Right? Those 2 or 3 different things allowed the podcast to start moving forward, and I was able to start reaching people. It's the same with playing soccer. You want to be able to be a champion. You want to be able to win games. What are you doing up to that point and able to get there? Are you showing up to practice first? Are you leaving practice last? Are you doing the extra training that you need to be doing? Are you watching film? Those are the things that we have to be able to do in order to reach that end result. And hopefully you guys are understanding that and you're recognizing that. Daily improvement. Let us all, as a group, as a community, stop focusing on the big picture way down here, and let's focus on what we can do today. What can you do today, right now? It's the start of your day, and what can you do that by the end of your day, you say, "Hey, it was awesome. I did great today. I know I improved, and I know I got better. It's a little tough. I'm gonna get to bed a little bit earlier today, and then wake up refreshed for the next day." What can you do today? All right. Is it going to be, instead of having that Coke during your break, you're going to have a water? Is it going to be, instead of ordering fast food, you're going to make your own meal? What does that look like for you today? Or instead of being on social media, are you going to take an extra 10 minutes to read an article, a blog, a book that's going to improve you? What is that going to be for you today? Let me know. Put that in the chat. Where you're trying to get to. Put that in the chat. Send me a DM, whatever it is, whatever's easiest for you. Let the community know so we can continue to improve. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing this out. We continue to grow on a daily basis. I appreciate that. And hopefully all of the information that I'm putting out to you guys is that helpful. And if there's any way that I can constantly improve, let me know. I'm all ears. I'm always open to constructive criticism. Again, that's how we improve and that's how we get better. And the only way I can do that is by you letting me know what I can do in that case. So go ahead, put it in the chat. Let us know. Send over a message. Remember, as always, be better than yesterday. And we will see you tomorrow. Have yourself a great rest of your day.